BWF Solicitors, we take pride in our client service. As a niche law practice, we are conscious of the demands of our clients. We always offer a friendly, listening ear and sympathetic attitude. We've worked with thousands of people all across the UK in all areas of personal legal services. We have received great feedback and reviews from our clients. We are located at Seven Sisters in Tottenham on the 4th floor of the Anna House, right on top of the Victoria Line train station for your utmost convenience. We have a friendly office and provide all of the refreshments necessary while you wait to see a lawyer. We are dedicated to our clients and have a successful record of serving our clients. Solicitors of England and Wales are of high quality and are bound by the highest professional standards. We are officers of the court and are bound by standards of integrity, competence and conduct as part of our responsibility to uphold rule of law. Our solicitors and lawyers care about your case and are committed to providing the best possible service to you in the most considerate and careful manner. We hold 2 Law Society quality marks. Law Society accreditation helps to demonstrate that we have attained the requisite standard in the area of law and have the requisite expertise. BWF Solicitors, we're here to help you with your legal services when you need us.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's another beautiful Saturday. I hope you are all keeping safe. Thank you so much for joining me for today's program on Heritage TV, Hanging Out with Vicky. As usual, it's the legal hour every Saturday from 12 noon. And we have our lawyer and partner of BWF Solicitors. Today's topic is going to be about bringing your adult dependent rights to the UK. Usually people rather focus on bringing their children when they first, settle in the country. The next thing they think about is, how can I bring my child to the UK? But today we just want to be fair. We've got people who want to bring an adult dependent, be a mother, a brother, a sister, a cousin, to join you in the UK. So Lawyer Eunice will be taking us through it. But before I introduce Lawyer Eunice, I'd like to also acknowledge our sponsors for today. It's Victim Estates Property Management Company. If you have a property that needs managing, you sell your property, you want to rent your property, look nowhere else. Contact Victim Estates Limited on 0744 8619 711. The second sponsor is Eagle Heights International School. It's a maths tuition center. Their aim is to promote excellence in mathematics education. If you want to contact the team at Eagle Heights International School, it's 0745 43 0712, and they'll be happy to take you through the registration. Not child expect. So take this opportunity and contact them. You are assured your child is going to very well in mathematics. Yes. Now straight to yes. So I'm going to introduce you to Eunice, partner and solicitor at BWF Solicitors. Lawyer Eunice, you're welcome to Heritage TV Hang with you. Lawyer Eunice, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How was your?
I'm doing busy.
Yeah, because I've been busy because last week we discussed the topic we discussed. Lots of people were so
Yeah.
impressed. Took your time to explain the process. And I had so many people contacting and, asking more questions on the
Yeah.
topic that was. So I had to, unfortunately, because I'm not a legal person, I had to direct them to you. So I was like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, extra work for me. But it's all
Which is good.
it was great. So I
Yeah.
believe that you are going to do justice to this topic as well. Bringing your adult dependent relative to the UK. Over to you, Dr. Eunice. If you say bringing your adult dependent relative,
Okay, so generally as okay, as we always do when we're looking at a topic, what is it always about? So when we say an adult dependent relative, who is that in the first place? So when you say an adult dependent relative under our immigration rules, you are looking specifically at Appendix FM of our immigration rules, and it has who an adult dependent relative is referring to. So it will be somebody who is a parent, somebody who is a grandparent, somebody who is a brother or a sister, or a son or a daughter. So your child who is over the age of 18. So those are who the immigration rules would usually define as an adult dependent relative. And it would be dependent relative if that person is depending on you for care and support. So if, for instance, you're saying that this adult has, let's say, a specific illness like cancer, and this adult has gotten to the point where they're receiving treatment, unfortunately, it's affecting their day to day life or routine. So they cannot care for themselves. You are the person who is the closest family member who can care for them, who can support them. And so, in doing so, you're saying that this person may not have the resources to be able to care for themselves, or there is no other family member who can care for them the way that you can. And so you have to do the caring, you have to do the supporting, and that is why it is necessary for this person to join you so that you can continue to provide them with the care and support that they need. And usually, when the care that you are talking about is available in the country where the parent or the grandparent or the adult child is from, then it means that obviously if they can get the care over there, if they can get the treatment over there, what else do they need to come over here for? So now it becomes, should I say, the onus is now on you who is here to then prove that the care is not available in that country, or the care that they would receive is very expensive. So there's no way that I can afford to pay for that care continuously or regularly whilst they are over there. If I can provide the care, I want them to come here so that I can provide them that care instead of paying so much money for somebody else to provide that care or support, or even the fact that maybe they may not have the treatment for free. So maybe they have to have the treatment paid for. So you are saying, well, that treatment is also expensive. I can't have somebody provide them care and also be paying for the treatment as well. It's all too expensive. Instead of me paying so much money to have that care provided or to have that treatment provided, I would rather that they come here, I support them, and then whatever treatment that they need, I'll be able to support them in getting that treatment here in the UK. So, in that sense, when you are even making the application, usually you have to pay for application fee, you have to pay for immigration health surcharge. That person will be covered because they are paying an immigration health surcharge. And so they will not necessarily, should I say, be paying tons and tons of money if they are supposed to be receiving treatment here in the UK. So that's, in a nutshell, who an adult dependent relative is under our immigration rules. And I know that a lot of people will be saying, okay, so how do you then go about it? It's all to do with the evidence that you can provide to them and how you are able to show that this is the person who needs the care, this is the person who needs the support, and they cannot have that support or they cannot receive that treatment where they are, and they need that treatment and support to be provided to them here in the UK. Yeah. Can you hear me, Vicky? I think I've lost you, Vicky. Can you hear me? Vicky, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can
Okay,
now
I
hear
can now
you.
hear you. Okay, all right. Sorry about that. So now, Eunice, like I was saying, what are some of the necessary documents needed to put in, put forward during this application?
Okay,
Okay,
so if
so if
you're saying that
you're
this
saying
person
that this
needs
person
your
needs
support,
your
the
support,
person
the
needs
person needs
that
that
care to be
care to
provided
be
here in the
provided here
UK,
in the UK,
then you are going to
then you
have
are
to
going to have
provide
to
them with
provide them
evidence
with
of the
evidence of
person's
the
illness.
person's illness.
So that would be
So that would
either
be either
getting a
getting a
medical report
medical
or
report or
consultant report
consultant
from
report from
the country
the
where they are
country
from.
where they are from.
So they need
So
to
they need
have
to
a
have a
diagnosis. They
diagnosis.
need to
They
have
need to have
treatments that they
treatments
need
that they
to
need
be
to be
provided.
provided.
They'll need,
They'll need,
I don't know,
I don't know,
medication.
medication.
So the
So the
consultants will have to
consultant will have to
basically
basically
provide all of
provide
that
all of that
information
information
and
and
what it
what it
requires to take care
requires
of
to
that
take care of
person.
that person.
Then you will also
Then you will
need, I
also
don't know
need,
if
I
there
don't know
are
if there are
free health
free
care in
healthcare
those countries
in
where
those
the
countries
people are
where the
from.
people are
So
from.
if there's
So
free
if there's
healthcare,
free
you need
healthcare,
to
you
look
need to
at
look
what
at
can be
what can
provided
be
under
provided under.
this free healthcare system. Is it provisional that people who are a certain age may get free healthcare up to a certain point, or does it mean that because they are of a certain age, they wouldn't be able to receive free healthcare, but they can get, let's say, treatments free, and then medications have to be paid for? So you have to look at what it means to have free healthcare in that country. And if there isn't anything like a free healthcare system in the country that they are from, then it means that they have to have evidence that shows that there isn't any free, should I say, healthcare system. So they cannot receive treatment for free, they cannot receive medication for free, and therefore all of these things are expensive. And if these things are expensive, that means that if they have to receive treatment, let's say every 6 months, where's the money going to come from? Or if it's treatment once, and then they have to be taking medication regularly. So maybe the medication they are being given is for every 30 days. That means that every 30 days you have to renew the medication. How expensive is that medication? How expensive is the treatment? How long would they have to be reviewed for? All of these information need to be provided so that at least when the caseworker is looking at it, he has a sense of what it means for that person to, should I say, live. How is their day-to-day life going to be affected? Does it mean that they need someone to care for them every day, such as feeding them, bathing them, and the rest of it? What does it mean for that person to receive care and treatment? And then you also have to look at the fact that the person who is over here is saying that they're providing the care. And is that person going to be able to also accommodate them? Is that person also working so that they can maintain the person who is coming so that they are not a burden on the system or on the state? So if the person who is here in the UK can provide evidence of the fact that they are working, then they can obviously maintain whoever it is that will be coming. And also they need to provide evidence that they can accommodate the person who is coming. And so by providing them with evidence that you have a place to stay and you are able to accommodate them, then obviously you include that with the evidence that shows the medical condition and the treatment that they need to receive here in the UK, as well as the fact that they are a relative of yours. So if you are saying that they are a parent, you need to provide evidence either by way of the birth certificates you received when you were born, or you can have DNA tests done to prove that relationship as well. So there will be some evidences that you will have to collect from a consultant or a doctor back where that person is from. You will need evidence to show that that treatment may not be available or may be available but it's too expensive, and therefore that person needs to join you here in the UK. And obviously you need to provide evidence that you can adequately accommodate that person when they come. You can maintain them as well, and also the fact that they're a family member, therefore that care and support that they need, you can provide it to them here in the UK. And those are some of the evidences that you would need to provide to them once you have submitted an application for that adult dependent relative.
Before as I, start asking questions, started sending their questions, may I also inform anyone who is watching us to please tell your brother, your sister to join in the discussion, send in all their questions. If there's any suggestion or if you had an experience trying to bring in a relative which probably didn't go as you expected it to be. This is the platform for you to send all your questions. Please do send us your questions on our Facebook handle at Heritage TV, YouTube, Periscope, and all social media handles. And also share to all your friends and loved ones for them to join in this discussion. We are here to inform you. Lawyer Eunice, there's this question. I said, I was anonymous. I have always wanted to bring my mother with me and the family in UK. She's now very old, and I'm not sure if she wants to travel as she has rheumatoid arthritis. What can she do?
So in a case like this, obviously, the mother is now obviously got arthritis, and sometimes it affects you so much that you become immobile because it affects the bones. and apparently it's very painful. I, when I speak to people with arthritis, I'm just like, oh my goodness. So how do you sometimes even sit if you are in that state? And apparently it can be so painful. And I can't imagine, because they say it's sort of inflammatory as well. And so you can just imagine what that person will be going through if they have that, should I say, that illness. And in this case, if that person is thinking about bringing their mother, first of all, they need to have that medical record or report to show that, yes, this is how it is affecting my mother's day to day living. So, yes, she has an illness, but how is it affecting her? Is it something that she needs care? Is it something that she needs that support from you? And if she needs that care, is there somebody who is able to provide that care to her in the country where she's from? So if, for instance, because she's not able to maybe bathe herself and she needs the help to do that, then it means that it's become a thing where she can't even provide care to herself. And so therefore somebody will need to come in, take her bath, feed her, do the laundry, the cleaning around the house, and the rest of it, for her to be able to also feel as if she's also being cared for. And when you get to that age, as much dignity as possible, because you don't want to also be a burden. And I can imagine, because I also have grandparents, and can you imagine having to lose all of your ability to do things on your own, and then somebody else is now having to care for you? It's one of those things that you can always say, oh yes, it happens, but when it actually happens to you, it's a different story altogether. And if that medical report can state how much the treatment she'll be receiving will also cost. So, how much does it cost to receive treatment? Is she having to take medication all the time? What is her prognosis? So, what is it in the future? What is it going to be like? Will she continue to stay on medication for the rest of her life? Is it something that she will have to maybe take for a year or two and then stop taking medication or stop receiving reviews? What is it like, or what is it going to be like in the long term? They will also have to state that maybe the care that she has to receive, they don't have any, because not every country has, should I say, a care system like we have in the UK, where you can say, oh, I'm taking the person to a care home and somebody will look after them. Yes, you can ask for a house help, but if you don't have that kind of money to be paying for a house help, then how are you going to have somebody take care of that parent of yours back in that country where he or she is from? So in that case, then it means that you will have to make arrangements for your mother to come and join you here in the UK. So you need that medical report to state the things that she requires. So what the long-term care would be like, the treatment she's receiving, the diagnosis, obviously, how long she's had it for, how it has, should I say, worsened, or has it stayed the same? And you also need to make sure that you're providing the evidence to say that you yourself will be able to care for her, also accommodate her when she comes, that you will be able to also maintain her by obviously taking care of her so that she's not a burden on the state, as they say. And then you also need to make sure, as much as possible, that when she is coming, you know for sure that you will provide that evidence of that relationship. It's very important that you are able to show that this person is a parent. And so, as much as possible, you need to provide that evidence by way of a birth certificate at the time of the birth of you, the person who is bringing her into the UK, or the DNA evidence, as I said. And usually it will be people who can afford it. And I know that some companies are not too expensive, but DNA is one of those things that just keeps everything at bay. So where there's any sort of doubt, you can provide the DNA to say that, yes, this is the relationship that we have. And so therefore, she's my mother. I want to bring her because of her condition. And I know that if she's here with me, she'll be better off because I know what she's going through. And so in cases like this, a medical report, evidence that the treatment is probably expensive over there is very key as well. The fact that there's nobody to provide her with the support and that you are the only person is also key. So all of this should be stated within the medical reports that will be given as well.
Right. The next question is coming from Sarah. She says she's really enjoying us. So every Saturday, 12 noon, she's always tuned in to listen to our program. She says hi to you, Laura Eunice. Sarah's
Hello.
question: what do I do if the application is complete? Would I have the right of appeal?
Okay. So in cases like this, because that person is your family member, a few weeks back I was talking about the fact that we have a right to private and family life, which is protected under Article 8 of our European Human Rights Convention. So if there is that right that we have as human beings to have our family life, then it means that you wanting to have your parent, your child who is over the age of 18, your grandparent or your brother or your sister join you in the UK is a human right. And it becomes even more important that that person receives that support. And so, if, for instance, that person who is outside of the UK hasn't got any family support, they've been on their own for how many years? They've cared for themselves, and now they have this illness or they have a disability which is preventing them from being the independent person that they used to be. Then it becomes more important that you are able to say that, yes, this person is a family member. And based on that, Section 82 of our Nationality, Immigration and Asylum Act 2002, now since 2014, when our Immigration Act came into force, people who have human rights cases or people with protection claims can now appeal. So before it was a broad range of reasons or claims that could be appealed, but now we have it that human rights claims and claims made under maybe asylum or humanitarian protection may also be appealed. So if a case like this were to be refused, yes, of course, you will have a right of appeal. And there have been different case laws that have come to also help, should I say, protect us as, should I say, those that are adult dependent relatives. So you have a case like N, Papalopschi. These are all cases that go on to reinforce the fact that if the person has an illness which they are finding it difficult to maybe receive treatment for, yes, it might not be an illness that will lead to death, but at least if we're saying that because of the fact that this person needs treatment, this person needs care and support. Otherwise, without the care and support that you will provide to them, eventually it will lead to their death. unfortunately, if they are not receiving that care, if they cannot receive the treatment that you think they should be receiving, then it will go on to lead to death. And that also comes under the Article 3, the fact that as human beings, we shouldn't be made to feel or receive degrading treatment. So if you are receiving degrading treatment, that can eventually lead to somebody's death. The fact that you may not be able to receive medication, the fact that you may not be able to receive support, I mean, it will get to a point you just feel like life is not worth living, and that can lead to somebody dying, because unfortunately they cannot receive the care and the support that they wish to receive, and so they don't see the point in continuing. And it's unfortunate that sometimes it gets to that point. But if we are able to recognize that these things are protected under the law, then of course, if such an application were to be refused, you will also be able to have the right to appeal. And there are so many case laws nowadays, and so those are the basis for which somebody may want to appeal such a decision, as long as you have the evidence to show that this is what my mother or my father has, or my brother or my sister has, or my child has, and therefore the fact that I am their parent or their brother or their sister, that person needs that care, that person needs that support, and they need me to provide that support because it's unavailable in that country where they're from, or it's too expensive, it's not affordable, and therefore that person needs my support, that person needs my care to be able to continue, to be able to find it worth living, basically. So yes, they can appeal such a decision, and yes, hopefully it should be one of those things that they can go ahead and basically do if it were to be refused.
Right. The next question. This is coming from Amina. Hassan. I have my mother with me here in UK. She's not well. Oh, sorry, bear with me. She is well into her 80s. She has glaucoma and diabetes, sorry, and she's diabetic. She has lived for over 12 years now. I have tried seeking advice, legal advice for her. I still don't know what to do to regularize her stay. Do you want me to take you through the question again? Now you can you hear me?
Lawyer Eunice, we couldn't hear you. We couldn't hear you, Lawyer Eunice. We couldn't hear you. Please restart your thing and go again. Lawyer Eunice, we could not hear you.
Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think Lawyer Eunice get her back and take us to the third question I asked her. So please be patient with us while Eunice is going to be telling us. Thanks for your This is Heritage TV hanging out with Vicky. Today we, as usual, our legal hour show. We start from 12 noon, and every Saturday from 12 noon we come your way to discuss immigration issues. Today we were discussing bringing your adult dependent relative to the UK. And Lawyer Eunice took us through who an adult dependent relative is, and also took us through some of the required documents that are needed for you to put in an application to guarantee having the application successful. We went through some few questions. Yes, we will, Lawyer Eunice. Hi, Eunice.
Hi, sorry about that. Somebody
Okay,
was making an
I,
international call.
no problem. I was trying to, take your job, trying my very best to.
I'm sure
I
you'll
was
be
trying
good
to.
at it.
It wasn't easy. Well done, honestly. Being a solicitor is not an easy thing. I'm telling you.
Oh, goodness me. I think nowadays a lot of people are very good at listening. So when it comes to doing my job, I'm sure as long as you've got the information, you'll be able to do it.
Because it's complicated when you're going to those clauses and acts. It's
Oh,
very confusing.
obviously,
Mhm.
obviously on that side, no, you wouldn't be able to remember all of that. Yes,
You know, so back to the question I asked. Did you get the question?
yes, yes.
Okay.
So you were saying that the parents has lived here for over 12 years and they currently have glaucoma and diabetes. Yes. So yes, in that situation, you would need that medical report. You would need the consultant to say whether it's possible for this person to go back to that country where they're from to receive the.
Oh dear. I think Laura Eunice is. Ooh. I think we will have to take a break and sort this out. Laura Eunice, can you hear us?
The
Yeah.
treatment here.
Oh, Laura Eunice is
Sorry,
back.
yeah, sorry about that. So basically, you're looking at the evidence whether they will be able to receive the treatment back in the country where they are from. Are they able to um, get some sort of medication here that they would not be able to get over there? Is it necessary that the person who is here, who is a family member, is saying that, do you know what, can I provide treatment to this person if they were to be sent away or they were to be sent back? And sometimes you have to look at the fact that maybe, yes, maybe you might be able to receive that treatment. If the treatment is expensive, then it has to be stated that the treatment that they will be receiving is so expensive that they would not be able to receive that care that they need over there. In a case like this, I don't know how far gone into the diabetes, because apparently diabetes comes with different levels. So when it gets to, I think, a certain level, that means that it's really bad. And for some people, they will even have to have like legs amputated. Some people even go blind. It affects other organs in the body. So if it's that bad, then obviously all of that has to be stated within that letter, the medical letter.
Hmm. Right.
People are able to provide the evidence that they will not receive that treatment that they need in the country that they were to come from. Um, Usually, you are going on the back foot that, yes, I haven't had status in the UK. I know, obviously, that this is something that has to be done outside of the UK. Yes, I'm now in the UK, but I want to make a human rights claim that because I am unable to receive the treatment and the care that I need in the country that I'm from, as much as possible, look at the medical reports, look at the fact that I don't have any other family from the country that I'm from. The only family that I have is here in the UK, and there is nothing else to go back to. If I were to go back, that I would literally be looking forward to my death, let's put it that way, if I were to be sent back to the country where I'm from, because with the level of diabetes that I have, I cannot receive care. I cannot receive basically the treatment that I need because it's too expensive. It's not going to be available to me for free. So I have to be able to pay for all these treatments or for all the medications to be able to continue to basically live life the way that I feel like is, should I say, worthy or more dignified. And so when it comes to cases like this, I'll always say go and seek legal advice because it's not your usual application where you are just relying on the fact that the person is outside the UK, so you want to bring them over. You always need to seek legal advice and help in terms of making such an application because in this case, you have to have the medical evidence be strong in such a way that they will rely on that to make their decision as well. And in the usual case, you have to be able to also show that the family member who is here is going to be able to provide for them, is going to be able to maintain them at the level where they would not have to be a burden on the state as well. And usually, most people who are working, who are able to obviously show that they earn a good enough income will be able to show by way of their pay slips, their bank statements, and evidence to show that at least they have more than enough space for this adult dependent relative to live with them, as the case may be.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are on Heritage hanging out with Vicky, with the partner, one of the partners and lawyers at BWF Solicitors, lawyer Unisa Chapon, and we are here discussing bringing your adult dependent relative to the UK. If you want to send your questions, this is free consultation. Just jump on that opportunity and send in your questions today. Share relatives as well to tune in, join us, and also send in queries or questions they might have. Eunice, our next question is from my father has high blood pressure and heart problems. We are originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo and was wondering what the chances are to bring him to UK.
Okay, so in a case like this, for instance, I don't know how the healthcare system is like in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So if, for instance, you are saying that this father of yours cannot receive free healthcare, like in Ghana, you can receive free healthcare for those who are under 18 and those that are over the age of 70, then of course, if it's not to show that you are going to have to pay for his medication, his high blood pressure medication, also going to you also have to show that you're going to be able to provide him with that care and support that he needs. And it's very important that when the medical practitioner who is there in the Democratic Republic of Congo is doing his report, they have to say how serious the condition is. How is it affecting his day-to-day living? How much would it cost on a daily basis for him to receive the medication that he's getting? Has he previously suffered other illnesses? Sometimes it could be that people can suffer a stroke as well if they have high blood pressure. Has he previously suffered due to the fact that he has high blood pressure. What is his prognosis? So what is it going to be like in the future? Is he likely to suffer even more if he doesn't receive the right treatment? Has it gotten to the point where it's so dire that he doesn't have any money to be able to care for himself, so he's not able to buy the foods and nutritions that he needs to be able to also help his situation? So all of these things have to be stated in the letter. And currently, I know that getting people to even get this medical evidence is also another struggle. But as much as possible, if you can get a good doctor who would be able to put all of these things within the medical letter or report, that would help a great deal, because that way the caseworker who is looking at this can basically look at this and say, okay, yes, we can see that this is how long this person has had this illness for. The medical report is there to say that they have been attending the clinic or hospital for this number of months or this number of years. And we can see that it is affecting his day-to-day living. We can also see that if something is not done, it will eventually lead to his death. And we can see that the child who is over here in the UK is able to support them. They are working, they are also providing them with accommodation when they come. And therefore, as much as possible, because of the current situation, we may be able to provide pictures, because if the situation is that bad and you have gone to see your father and he looks terrible, then you might as well provide pictures to show them that this is what the situation is like. And those also help to make the caseworker more aware of what the current situation is like. And so as much as possible, if they are able to get that medical evidence, the fact that maybe there isn't anything like free healthcare and they need to pay for it, how much it costs, how much they will spend if they were in the UK. So that comparison will also come in as well. And then make the application based on the evidences that the medical practitioner has been able to provide, and the fact that you who is over here will be able to also care for them and maintain them and also accommodate them when they do come over. Yeah.
Someone asking how much that they
Mm.
have to be managed.
Okay. So if, for instance, you're working, you're in a good paying job, they haven't really specified how much it is that you have to be earning to be able to make this application. They always say that as long as you are able to maintain that person. So for me, I always like to say, if you are working and, for instance, you don't have dependents, so you don't have too many responsibilities, let's put it that way. So if you are saying you're bringing your mother over, and usually these applications are for those that are British or settled here in the UK. So you who is a British citizen, you who is a settled person in the UK, you want to bring your adult dependent relative. Now, they are looking at the fact that you have, let's say, 3 children at home who are so young and they also need to be cared for. Are you working that the money that you are earning is sufficient for you to be able to care for your children and this adult dependent relative who you want to bring over? Usually, they do like a rough calculation of income support rates that they usually give to children here in the UK. So if you have young children, they will just calculate your income to see if your income is able to maintain your children. And if you have more than enough income to maintain your children, then obviously you'll be able to care for an adult dependent relative. But if they calculate and then they look at your income, they take out your council tax, they take out your rent, and the money that you're earning is not even able to maintain the little ones that you have, then unfortunately, how would you be able to maintain another person who will be joining the family? If you have no responsibilities whatsoever, then hooray, because then it means that as much as you're working, you will be able to maintain the person who will be coming over. So all you need to show is the fact that you're working, you are able to pay your rent, you are able to pay for your council tax, and there's still something left over for you yourself. So as long as you are able to show that maybe you don't have any extra dependents to care for and the rest of it, then that would be in itself meeting the maintenance requirement, because you don't have any other responsibilities. Maybe it's just you and your husband, or your husband and yourself living together, and therefore you earn more than enough to be able to care for this person or maintain this person when they come. And at the beginning, I was saying that you have to pay for an immigration health surcharge, because when they give you the leave to enter, it will be for a period of 5 years. So they are giving you that healthcare treatment because you have paid for the immigration health surcharge. So it's not as if you are now going to have to pay for treatment. Unless maybe the person is very rich, they don't mind paying for some private medical help. If that's the case, then wow, fair enough. You are super rich, so you don't mind paying for the extra private
Surcharge,
medical health. Yes.
health surcharge, does it cut across whatever treatment? Let's take it that there's a dependent whose only problem is, diabetes, as compared to
Mm-hmm.
another relative who's got cancer. And if you look at the comparison, the two of them, it's more expensive
Mm,
for the cancer as compared to diabetes. Now, is it a flat rate
mm.
for the health? It doesn't matter whether your treatment might be more expensive than the other adult dependent relative.
Mm. I think every illness and the treatment that they receive is obviously calculated by the should I say the NHS business authority. So they are the ones that would be able to give a better view of how much it will cost. But in terms of the immigration health surcharge, because it is a flat rate for everybody, and you cannot tell what illness a specific person is going to have and what treatment they will be receiving from the NHS. So they give that flat rate so that regardless of whatever illness or treatment that person needs, because they have paid that flat rate immigration health surcharge, that entitles them to receive whatever care, whatever treatment that is required under the NHS. So it's not dependent on, oh, because your treatment is more expensive, so we wouldn't give you the treatment that you need. Unfortunately, they can't do that. And that's why they have a fixed flat rate, so that in that sense will make you eligible to receive whatever treatment that is required under the National Health Service. So yes, I understand where you're coming from. I'm sure there's different rates that they have for different treatments, but it will not be applicable in that sense to any person who has paid for the immigration health surcharge. So if you have paid for the immigration health surcharge, then whatever treatment that is required, regardless of how expensive it is, you will be given that treatment under the National Health Service. Yeah.
And now, so someone with some benefits, maybe housing benefit, tax credit,
Mm,
all these benefits, can they still
mm.
bring their adult relative to the UK?
So if you're receiving these benefits, and let's say you are receiving it because you are not working, then unfortunately you cannot accommodate, I mean, you cannot maintain this person who will be coming, because you are saying that you are the one who is going to maintain them, and you are not going to make them have recourse to public funds. But if you are receiving all these things and you're not working, then how then would you be able to maintain them when they come? Because the whole point of maintaining them is that you don't have them on the benefit system. They don't want the person on the benefit system, and that's why there's a requirement to be able to maintain them. So if you're receiving all these benefits and you're not working, unfortunately, then it will be difficult to prove that you can maintain them when they come. With accommodation, I mean, as much as possible, if you have extra rooms, all you need to show is the tenancy agreement, and that should be more than enough. But if you are super rich, like I was saying before, and you can afford a care home, and you want to have your parents in a care home, then of course you can also provide evidence that you are willing to pay for them to be treated within a care home as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, in this discussion, bringing another dependent relative to the UK, I think more emphasis uh, on the elderly, like a mom and
Yeah.
a dad. What I want to find
Yeah.
out from you, apart from
Mm,
the elder, let's say parents, are cousins, uncles, other relatives eligible to be brought in as other dependent relatives?
So specifically, it's those that are your parent, your grandparent, your brother or your sister, or a child who is over the age of 18. So if you have a child or a brother or a sister who is over the age of 18, and you're saying to yourself, this person needs my care, they need my treatment. Usually people that are young do not tend to have illnesses, but if there has been a case where, for instance, somebody who was in their 20s suddenly had breast cancer, and unfortunately, the treatment they were given wasn't the right dosage, and so that also caused the person to go into should I say, they fell ill and had other, should I say, symptoms and if side effects from the treatment that they were receiving. So if it's a case like that, then of course, whatever evidence that the medical practitioner can provide to show that you need to have this person come as soon as possible, then yes, do have those evidences available and ready to show that because of the illness that this person has, they need my care, they need my support, they will not be able to have it where they are because it's not affordable, and because they may not be able to get that support where they are. So yes, you can make such applications for a person who is a child over the age of 18, or a person who is a brother or a sister who are over the age of 18. Yeah.
More, you know, some last words.
Okay. So, yes, um, in regards to what we've just discussed today, in terms of our adult dependent relatives, I know a lot of people who will have situations where they are thinking, I wasn't able to bring my child over the age, I mean, when they were under the age of 18. And now that you've mentioned this, then that means that there's no chance whatsoever for me to bring that child. I mean, it's not the end of the world. There are other routes available. And as much as Vicky keeps drumming, we are always here to also provide the legal advice to other areas of law, not just immigration per se, not just family law, but there are other areas of law that we also deal with. So, in terms of people's employment and things to do with their social security or their housing matters, BWF also deals with such matters. So, as much as we would like to talk about immigration, because most of us are here as immigrants, we do offer advice in terms of family law as well and all these other areas of law. So, if you do want to get in contact with us, please do take note of our address and our contact details. We are situated in Seven Sisters, London. We're on the fourth floor of Anna House. So it's 214 to 218 of the Tottenham High Road, and it's in London. The postcode is N15 4NP. N15 4NP. And our office telephone number is 0208 493 7340. So 0208 493 7340. And our offices are open from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. every Monday to Friday. And out of office hours, you can reach me on 075 35 81 3910. Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you so much for this. As I always say, we never stop appreciating you and thanking you. Taking time, trying to spend time with the that, committing yourself to the office work Monday to Friday, and when you should be with your family on a weekend such as this Saturday, you still take time off to, educate us every Saturday from 12. I appreciate you and adore you. Thank you so much. And also send our great thanks to the family as well for, giving you the freedom to come on and as well.
Yes.
This will make you feel, isn't it?
Of course. I think one of the people that keeps looking forward to seeing me is my mom. I think she always looks forward to seeing me whenever I'm doing these things. She's always number one on it.
To say hello, Auntie Helena. Auntie Helena, we thank you so much. And we also thank you for bringing such a beautiful, intelligent woman to this world, changing lives. Helena. Ladies and gentlemen, this discussion has come to an end. Lawyer Eunice has given you all her details. If you need further clarifications, or you've got a case that you need an immigration solicitor to handle it for you, don't look anywhere else. Contact BWF Solicitors, Lawyer Eunice, and she'll be very happy to take you, represent you with your immigration matter. Their success rate is amazing, and they've won so many awards. This should tell you that they are doing something right. They've done so much to help our community. So I will encourage you to also, engage their services as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with me throughout the show. I'm going to come back at 5 p.m. I've got a special announcement. I've got this lovely lady who is going to launch her gospel album on our platform, and she is Queen Ayele J, all the way from the USA. She will be with us at 5 o'clock to launch her single, Never Give Up God. So do not miss it. Make sure you take note of the time. It's 5 p.m. and stay tuned. I know you're going to really enjoy the launching of her single. I've already listened to a promo of her single and it's amazing. So please, please, please pass this message on to your friends, loved ones, and share this message. And I'll hopefully see you again 5 p.m. today. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate your commitment, your patronage. Please keep it up. I thank you so much and I appreciate you. So till I see you at 5 p.m., take care and keep safe. Bye.
At BWF Solicitors, we take pride in our client service. As a niche law practice, we are conscious of the demands of our clients. We always offer a friendly, listening ear and sympathetic attitude. We've worked with thousands of people all across the UK in all areas of personal legal services. We have received great feedback and reviews from our clients. We are located at Seven Sisters in Tottenham on the 4th floor of the Anna House, right on top of the Victoria Line train station for your utmost convenience. We have a friendly office and provide all of the refreshments necessary while you wait to see a lawyer. We are dedicated to our clients and have a successful record of serving our clients. Solicitors of England and Wales are of high quality and are bound by the highest professional standards. We are officers of the court and are bound by standards of integrity, competence and conduct as part of our responsibility to uphold rule of law. Our solicitors and lawyers care about your case and are committed to providing the best possible service to you in the most considerate and careful manner. We hold 2 Law Society quality marks. Law Society accreditation helps to demonstrate that we have attained the requisite standard in the area of law and have the requisite expertise. BWF Solicitors, we're here to help you with your legal services when you need us.